Welcome back, everybody. This is Wings of Wax, and we are playing Slay the Spire. This is Act 3. I'm actually recording this back-to-back right now, so that way I can potentially have some free time tomorrow if I need to, because I actually have to do some work. So I'm trying to get 2 episodes in right now. But we're in Act 3. We're going to be facing the Time Lord, which is actually not terrible for us, to be honest, because we're not casting like a million things on a turn, so we don't really have like a strict combo deck. We are actually building a barricade strategy at the current moment. We still have our, remaining relics here. We picked up a yeah, anyways, the boss relic thing. Matryoshka? Yoshka? Okay, I don't know. Marta-Yoshka, I don't know. Which has actually been pretty helpful. We still have one more chest to be able to hit, so we should be able to get 2 relics out of that. We have Lantern, which is at the start, the very first turn of each combat. We're going to be able to get an additional energy. We have the Thread and Needle, which will also give us the Plate Armor, which leads into the fact that we are it helps us greatly with a barricade deck strategy. Smiling Mask, which will help us remove cards, which is going to be great because we're going to be looking for a lot of shops here. We have Runic Pyramid, which is the last one we just picked up, which makes it so we don't discard our hand at the end of combat, or at the end of turn, rather. Our deck currently consists of still a bunch of Strikes and Defends, which I'm looking to get rid of with that 50 gold reduction, or 50 gold removal service. So let's see if we can get rid of a couple strikes here and there. We have a bunch of like defensive cards. We don't really have like the key elements yet to building a barricade strategy. We were able to upgrade our barricade last time, which is fantastic because the extra energy that we need to be able to put up like an additional shrug or something for that turn is really beneficial to us. So I'm very happy about that. We have an upgraded Metallicize. We did pick up a double tap last time and an offering, which I'm pretty ecstatic about. We also picked up the Whirlwind and the Combust and the Body Slam. So the last thing we're really looking for is like Entrench, and I would say a True Grit, so that way we can start to whittle down the deck the longer the game goes to be able to find like all of our defensive cards and try to whittle it down to like Body Slam plus Entrench. And that's really what we're looking to do. So yeah, that's where we're at. I would like to upgrade this Berserk at some point, but honestly, now that we have the Runic... the Runic Pyramid here, we actually don't need to prioritize this currently. I would prioritize probably upgrading the double tap first, I would imagine. Yeah, that would probably be the best thing to do. Mostly because we have the Runic Pyramid, which means we can hold on to the Berserk to be able to eventually get to an armaments where we can upgrade that. So I am pretty ecstatic that we can hold on to, our non-upgraded cards and be able to eventually go for the Berserk. So that is ultimately the goal here, and we can do the same thing with a Whirlwind. We can do the same thing with any card in our deck, honestly. So that's kind of why like the Runic Pyramid is pretty sweet. That's one of the synergies, I should say. So we're trying to avoid as many elites as possible, while hitting as many shops as possible. So there is a shop over here. We can't unfortunately get to this shop. So this route right here is dead to me. So this shop over here, though, is worthwhile because we actually have a campfire here. Looks like we have another campfire here. Unfortunately, we only have like one more shop. Man, there's like... Unfortunately, like I would like to get to this shop and then find a way to get to the second shop. But the problem is, if we do that, then we're actually going to run into this elite here. So if we hit the shop here, we do have to fight at least one elite. Do we take the gamble so that we can hit 2 shops here and remove 2 more cards, or potentially find a barricade? Man, is it worth it for the barricade? I think it is. I'm sorry, not barricade. Entrench is actually the card I'm trying to think of. Oh man, does that hurt my soul though? Because we might just get Nemesis, which is my biggest fear right now. But if we find the Entrench here, then we're still gonna have to hit an elite. Man, there's no way to avoid it. But I do really want to hit this because it's more options to be able to find that Entrench, which is really beneficial to us. Yeah, I think we have to take the heat of at least one elite this game. We got double tap Whirlwind, so how much damage is that? Not enough to kill all of you because you are not upgraded, nor do I have any strength bonuses at this moment, so that's unfortunate. Do we just take the damage, though, and go for the double Whirlwind? I think we do. That's still 30 HP away from all of you. And then we just take 6, which we can regenerate 6. So, problem is we're going to get hit really hard here. Oh, we don't really have a lot of block either. Oh, God, no. This is going to go awful. This is what my biggest concern was. Is we're not really quite ready to establish the barricade because we don't have enough mana. All right. Yeah, we just can't go for the barricade here. Like, it's just like physically impossible. We can take technically one of these out probably. Combust is not terrible, but we really don't need to be dealing damage to these guys because they have their armor up at the moment. So how is the best way to approach this? Strike. That's only going to deal. We're still at 1 here. Yuck. And what? We could go for like armaments instead, and that would actually kill it. But the armaments only blocks 5, which we'd still take. We'd still take. What are they dealing? 26 at that point. So we'd still be taking 18. That is so much damage. Oh my god. Wow, this is a tough turn. We're going to be taking a lot of hits. How does our pathing look? Okay, we're not hitting like too many more. We do have a rest before we actually get to this elite here if we need to. Which is probably more beneficial than trying to hit up this elite here. Yeah, this is looking pretty sour at the moment. Is that the play? I think it is the play. Like, as much as it pains me to do this, I think it's the play, unfortunately. I don't see any way to, like, do anything else. So, we do get Pommel Strike, which will draw us into more cards. We have Offering. Okay, let's go for the Offering and see if that helps us out even just a little bit more here. We have Body Slam. Body Slam could help us. We would have to probably put up some more defend here, and we can still take out this guy. I think still the plan is just to take this out, and then we just put up as much defend as possible here, since we don't actually have a reason to go for the Body Slam yet. And we can just prevent as much damage as possible, so do we disarm this is the question, which will prevent us from taking, what? This would be 3, so 6 damage is what it prevents. Is that better than just going for like a double defend here? Because I don't think it's worth it for us to go for the Metallicize, because we actually just want to prevent as much damage as possible. So I think it's better to just go for the double defend. Yeah, this was a tough turn. Take 2. So it was worth it. We can actually take this guy out probably. I say that, and we don't really have a lot of attacks in our hand, but maybe we can figure something out. This could be a decent turn to actually set up the barricade, but I think Shrug It Off is probably the best thing to start with. I mean, if we were going to set up the barricade, I'd probably Shrug It Off first anyways, so yeah, let's go for that. We got Berserk. Okay. That'll set us up to have some more energy, so I actually think that maybe we don't go for the barricade here. Instead, we go for the Berserk and put up another block and be able to apply a little bit more damage to this guy. So that way we can just have more mana, be able to set up this barricade if we need to. But I'm trying, like, we're basically getting to a place where I don't think we're going to be able to set up the barricade, so I don't think it's worthwhile. So we're vulnerable for 2 more turns, but we could potentially kill this guy. It's too bad Body Slam is not free here. That would be fantastic, but you know, it's not. 11. We just don't have enough to kill you. Like, that's basically what it comes down to. Ugh. We could have used our Dex Potion. That would have been something to consider here. But yeah, I think we're going to be going to 13. So I think we actually can afford to Metallicize here. And I think we go for the Combust. Apply some more damage to these guys. It's just better to deal the damage to both of them. So unfortunately this guy's back alive. But we're looking a little sturdier, so that is helpful. We can actually set up the barricade here because we do have a shrug it off and be able to go for a defend. We're not drawing a lot of cards per turn, obviously, but we do have enough options to make it worthwhile. Okay, so we do have, what, 20, 32 damage coming, 36 damage coming in. Man, double tap would be great with Whirlwind right now, but let's go for a shrug it off. Oh, I should probably gone for this potion here. It's still probably worth it for us to go for the potion. Because how much we're going to be getting, what, we're at 22, 24. They're dealing 36 damage to us. So we need 12 more block. 12 more block. 12 more. Like, we have a defend and armaments, and we can technically disarm this guy. So now we only have 30 damage we have to block here, which we're at 24, right? 24. So we only need 6 more to be able to block here. We could go for the armaments, which means we wouldn't carry over anything, but we do get to upgrade all of our cards here. And technically I can kill this. Is it worth it for me to kill one of these guys instead? Because we do have the body slam. I'm curious, if I double tap body slam here, does it choose a random target? Because I don't actually know. And this is probably a turn where we could actually afford to try to take that gamble and see if it works out that way. Never actually tried. Do we need to, though? That's the next question. Do we need to take that gamble? I don't think we do. I don't think we do. Yeah. 31. You are at 29. Perfect. Now we can carry over some of our barricade blockage, so we don't have, so we can actually try to kill you next turn. Perfecto. Oh my god, that was the fact that we only lost 11 health there is just crazy to me. Drop kick is not worth it. We don't really have anything vulnerable except vulnerability except for bash here. Yep, because we are not an aggressive deck. Shrug it off number 15. I think we already have 3, right? We have 2. We have 2. I don't think taking a shrug it off is necessary here. Even if it was upgraded, I might have considered it, but it's not. Oh, come on. We're in like desperation mode. Please. Oh, you suck. You suck so much right now. We need Entrench. Or even True Grit. Either one of those would have been fantastic here. That is super unfortunate. I think we just go for like Seeing Red though. Seeing Red's really good. I do like Ghostly Armor too, but we have enough like blocking in the deck that I don't think it's really necessary. If it was an upgraded Ghostly Armor, I definitely would take it. But Seeing Red actually helps us, that way we can actually set up like a barricade deck, a barricade turn or something like that. And we also still get to go for the card removal service, so I think that's more worthwhile to us. Because if you notice, we had a bunch of cards in our hand, we couldn't actually cast anything, and we were kind of bottlenecked on mana. So that's actually where Seeing Red comes in handy with the Runic Pyramid. So I would like to remove just a basic strike. That would be fantastic. Let's get rid of that. Any potions? Do we want to save all of our monies? Just in case we need like, what, 100-ish gold, 150-ish gold probably to be able to buy a barricade if we do find it in the shop. How many combats are we going to get to? We have 1. It's better for me probably to fight this one. So 2, 3, 4 combats. So what's that? 3 are regulars. That's about 15 to 20 gold a piece. So about 45 to 60 gold. Plus the elite is probably, what, like 40 to 50 gold, I think it is. I don't remember exactly. So it's like 100-ish gold before we get, it's like 80 to 100 gold before we get to the shop here. Do any of these potions really stand out to me? The only one that does is like Energy Potion, because the Energy Potion could come in really handy against the elite. I'm taking my time here because we do need to play very cautiously. because we don't have all of the elements to our deck yet. So please bear with me for just a moment here for the temporary lapse in time here. I don't think we need it. Yeah. Since we did just pick up Seeing Red too, so like, you know, that should be helpful enough. Ugh. We don't have like any defense this turn? Are you serious? Are you serious? Like, we'll go for the pommel. We drew a defend. Yeah. Since we do have the thread and needle, it will help us out with the plate armor. We cannot really do too much this turn, to be honest. We do have offering, so I could go for the offering. The problem is every time I use offering, we don't actually get ahead on our HP, so that's the biggest issue with it. I think we start with a Shrug It Off. Lead there. We have 15 here, which means we can't afford to go for a Metallicize, which is good for us. The problem is the longer this fight goes on, the more dangerous it becomes. So, what shall we do? I'm going to hold on to the offering, and we'll just go for like a body slam here. That's a pretty decent chunk of damage this turn. I'm trying my best to preserve our life total, or at least get HP where I can. So, armaments is pretty good here. It does upgrade everything, so... And we would, what, take an additional 8 damage if we go for the Berserk here? I don't know if that's actually worth it. We're getting 8 here, so 13 is what we're getting. Shrug It Off is probably not necessary then, so 13, which means we can actually go for like a disarm. Okay. And then we just go for what? Like the regular strike here? That sounds fine. And pass. We did draw a burn. However, I think our friend is dead. Let's see. This is double tap on you. See, if I do like you, that's 18 damage. He's not dead. It's close. It's close. So we do have to put up like 16 block if we potentially can. So let's go for the Shrug It Off, which is actually going to be 18 block because we have a burn in our hand. We should just prevent as much damage as possible. This is going to be 19. That's actually enough. So we can actually afford to deal some damage here. Is it worth it to just go for the double tap? I think it is. It gets 2 cards out of our hand. We don't really have anything else that really is going to be beneficial to us in terms of synergy with double tap right now. There's nothing like we're waiting for, so I feel like that was just good enough. And we do have a double tap pommel, so that will be lethal. And we were able to not have to cast our offering. That's actually pretty exciting. Another combust. You know, if I were to take a card, I think that's actually decent. Although Bloodletting is also really good too. It does hurt us, but at the same time, getting 2 additional mana, like you saw how bottlenecked we were on mana there, on energy. I'm going to keep calling it mana. I'm sorry. It's just, you know, Hearthstone and Magic. Do they call it mana in Hearthstone? I don't remember. It's the same terminology. It means the same thing, you know. Don't give me a hard time. But yeah, we were bottlenecked on our mana for a lot of that game. So I'm almost considering going for a Bloodletting. It does kind of go against my vision of trying not to take too much damage. But also, Seeing Red is a one-time use. It only gives us an extra mana. Bloodletting is a multiple use. So that is kind of why I'm considering it here. Man, that's tough. I don't think we need it. It is helpful. It does make it so we can set up more barricades. For the cost of like 3 mana to set up a barricade, though, I think is worth 3 health is worth actually going for a barricade. Yes, we will go this way. We get into the shop. We do not get what we are looking for, though. That sucks. Where, oh where, is the Entrencher True Grit at? Oh where could it be? We will remove another basic strike from our deck, since that is inevitably the plan that we are going with. All right, so Wheel of Change. You come upon a dapper-looking, cheery gremlin.
It's time to play, to spin the wheel. Are you ready? Of course you are. You could get screwed.
Is that a removal? Card removal?
Oh, the power of darkness. Choose a card to remove from your deck. Prize? Remove a card from your deck.
Yes, I will. Sometimes I just can't help myself. I think we go for just a basic defend, actually. I'd rather keep, like, an upgraded strike, if that's the case. And there's really nothing here that, like, we have so many defensive cards that losing a basic defend, I think, is just beneficial to us here. Yeah. Typically, I would just get rid of all the strikes, but since they're upgraded, I value those a little higher. So, we actually need to start taking key pieces. Oh, crap. I actually don't think we're going to be able to get the last key piece. Oh, my God. I'm not sure we're going to be able to. As much as I would like to upgrade, like, I have to try to go for this next key piece. I'm not sure we're going to be able to get the last key piece. Like, we have to hope that one of these, Oh, no, we can pick it up from the chest. Yeah, we can pick it up from the chest. Okay, so no, false alarm. False alarm. We can pick it up from the chest. Don't worry, don't worry. We can still potentially get to the heart. Right. We do have bloodletting. Let's go for a shrug it off first, since we do want to prevent damage if we can help it. I'm just trying to draw some cards, see where that leads us. Get offering. Is offering better than bloodletting? Probably, because we don't really have anything in our hand that actually helps us out this turn. So I think we actually have to go for the offering. I mean, this is an elite fight, so this is the Reptomancer, in case you're wondering. These are all floating daggers that like to do stabby things, and that is really difficult for us to deal with. So we have 5 mana, so I don't know what we're doing this turn, but we actually shouldn't have to, we shouldn't cast all those. I shouldn't have even cast that, actually. Oh, no, I should have, because that was Metallicize. And we can't take out one of these. Do we need to? We potentially could draw, like, our Whirlwind, which could take this guy out, so I wonder... It's not like we have Barricade up, so, like, we're going to be losing this armor anyway, so even preserving that is not that big of a deal to us. Do we want to deal damage to the Reptomancer this turn? That is the question. And I'm not casting the defense because we have the Runic Pyramid, so that's the biggest reason why. But I would like to be able to get the strike out of my hand because that's like the worst card in our hand. And if I'm banking on going for a Whirlwind next turn, we potentially couldn't even get it though. That's the problem. Yeah, just in case we don't actually get the Whirlwind next turn, we'll make it so it's a little easier to kill one of these. We did not, so I'm glad. I'm glad I didn't screw myself there. There's a lot of damage coming in. I don't know if any of you caught wind of that, but this is actually kind of scary. This is going to deal 5, so it'll take out this guy. We do not have very much damage, though, to be completely honest. I definitely can't go for the Berserker this turn, that's for sure. We do have double tap, so like I can potentially like double tap a Body Slam. I think we have to pop this potion here. And then we go for defend. We have to go for the combust to be able to take this one out, so we take 25 less damage from there. Well, we just take out like this guy with the Body Slam. I think that's probably beneficial to us. We could go for the Bloodletting and see if that actually does work with Body Slam, to be able to take out like a different enemy. But the only issue is like we have the chance to be able to hit this, and then we just lose 3 HP for no real reason. But we are taking quite a bit of damage this turn. This is a little scary. It's a little scary. Yeah. You know what? Let's try it. I don't know if this will work, but... Yeah, it just went away. Okay, so good to know. It was relatively free. We did take 3 damage on trying that out, but... Which is probably not the time to be trying against, you know, an elite, but... Okay, we cannot set up really the barricade again this time. So that is unfortunate. We just don't have the mana to be able to do it. We're like, and he's also dealing a large chunk of damage to us every friggin' turn right now. Oh, I should have actually looked to see if this was going to die if I had that extra mana, which it was, which actually would have saved me quite a bit of health there. Is there a way for me to redeem myself from this? I don't think there is. Like, I'd have to use the vulnerable potion on a dagger. Actually, no, we have combust. Yeah, so we can go for the whirlwind here. That actually works out. Yeah, we have combust. We have combust. Combust is active. Combust and metallicize. Okay. Another turn that is a little scary, but we can reduce some of its damage. Let's start there. We do have a Shrug It Off to be able to prevent some more damage from it. And we do have Barricade, so I think we should go for that. I don't think we should go for the Berserk this turn again. I don't think this is an enemy that we really can ever go for Berserk, to be completely honest with you. And I do think we go for the Bloodletting, because that'll actually prevent us from taking a little bit more damage. And we can go for the Pommel Strike. Yep, we're definitely not berserking. We're definitely not berserking. We would have taken like 5 damage there or something like that if we did berserk, but that's 5 damage I really just don't want to afford to take right now. Unfortunately, all these wounds are just like filling up our hand right now. We do have to set up a bash so we can actually go for this whirlwind eventually. Because I really don't want to use the potion if I don't have to. Alrighty. He's not doing anything this turn. Yeah, we get a turn off. That's at least good for us. So we can go for the Berserk, finally. Which means, do we save the double tap whirlwind? And I think we do. I think we do. So we can afford to go for this. We can afford to go for this. We can afford to go for this. And I think I want to save the Body Slam for the double tap. Because now we have it upgraded, which means the next 2 attacks we played are played twice. So, and this is going to be free. So, and he's not dealing any damage to us. So this is actually going to be a fantastic turn for us. So, without further ado, he's not even attacking again. And you're dead. That's not how you kill them. You don't kill them with a wound. That is actually one of the biggest concerns, too, is those wounds are filling up our hand with the Runic Pyramid. Calipers, at the start of your turn, lose 15 block rather than all of your block. You know, well, unfortunately, it doesn't really work with our barricade strategy. Thank you very much. Dual wield. Is there anything we want to actually copy with dual wield? Okay, I have to remember, dual wield is attack and power. Okay, because I keep looking at skills and I'm like, oh, that looks tantalizing. Always a second metallicize is never bad. I mean, a second berserk is fine, but we'd have to actually set up the turns to do it. Second combust is always good. I don't think we need it. Like, there's really nothing that like stands out here that makes me like squeal like a schoolgirl, you know? And second wind is not that great for us either. We don't really have an exhausted strategy, and anger is obviously just more of an aggressive card. So we, like I said, we have tunnel vision. We have 2 cards in mind. We have 2 cards in mind currently. We do have armaments, so I should start with that. We don't actually want to take too much damage. Okay, so here's the thing. if I attack this guy, he has malleable, which means he's going to put up 3 block, which means I can't attack him a second time. So that's fine. The thing that is horrendous for us is reactive. Reactive means upon receiving attack damage, it changes its intent, which means it can change its attack. It can choose not to attack. It can choose to deal a disgusting amount of damage. So it's better for us to just take our 1 damage this turn and just pass the turn here. So, because I know that this guy, see, he deals 22, and probably the next one's going to be like 13 times 3 or something. Like, he does a lot of damage. And I think, like, we have to deal damage to him this turn, I think. I do want to metallicize, but at the same time, I just need to try to get him to a weaker turn. Okay, so here's the issue with this right here. This will put a permanent curse card into our deck if he is stuck on this. So there's a big issue there. There's a really big issue there. I do not like permanent cards that are bad for us. We actually have no way to be able to take advantage of them either, so that's the other reason why I don't think it's good for us to be able to have him stay on this. We'll go for a strike, which will be 7 times 3, so we have to go for this. And we'll go for a pommel strike, which will put him back onto the thing we didn't want. Oh my god. See how this is not a good fight? This is an awful fight. Because now we get to go for like Whirlwind, and then if he sets up on a really bad attack for us, then we're going to be taking a lot of damage. So we're already weakened or vulnerable. So what's 1 more? You know, what's 2 more? Oh right, we didn't upgrade it. Man, is it worth putting a permanent? Like we can always get rid of it though, potentially at like the store. Where are we? We have this combat, 1 more combat, and then the store. And if we don't find her entrenched, we can potentially get rid of the curse. All right, I guess that's worthwhile enough, right? That seems it. Let's pass. See, it just gave us Parasite. If you saw, it actually shuffled it into our deck, and that's because it is now a permanent feature inside our deck. If transformed or removed from your deck, you lose 3. It's just an unplayable card. So it's not like the end of the world, but it does kind of suck. I wish we had better things to do. Start with a Shrug It Off, see what other offerings we have. Feature an offering. Disarm is not a terrible choice here. Could just apply more defensiveness. Take 18. Problem is, I don't really want to attack him. Because I'm fine with taking 18 here. And maybe I'm just not being aggressive, but I know how treacherous this guy can really be sometimes. So, like I'm almost just tempted to just keep going for the barricade strategy and see if we can get more cards that just we can eventually take him out with like a ginormous body slam or something. Like I think we have the option to eventually be able to get to there. This is actually worthwhile. And we could body slam him here, but I'm okay with taking 18. It's really not that big of a deal to me right now. Yeah, we're just setting up, I think, a double tap body slam turn. Which, actually, that might have been the turn. That would have been 40, so like 60. We were close. We weren't actually there. Actually, no, we probably could have gotten him with the bloodletting, with the double tap and the body slam. So, but anyways, we're here. We're doing stuffs. So I would like to defend. I would like to bash you. Okay, I'm okay with you dealing 12 damage. That's perfectly acceptable. From here, we only have 44, which means this will deal vulnerable. Actually, we can just hover it over him. This would deal 66 damage. So we can kill him, right? Yeah, we can. So double tap, body slam. Body slam will kill him. Perfect. So that was a little difficult, but it ended up working out. We get an upgraded body slam. I think I will take an additional body slam here. Like, two is probably the max I will go for because they fill your hand up and don't really do anything if you don't have any block up. So we do not want to fight the elites. Man, we get offered Bottled Tornado over our key piece. You are such a tease. Oh my god, this allows us to put a power card from our deck into our starting hand. Oh my god, we can literally put Barricade into our starting hand. I have to take the Sapphire piece. I have to. That is so rude. That is just incredibly rude. How dare they? Alright, disarm you, metallicize. We'll go for another Shrug It Off, sure. Actually, we shouldn't have gone for Shrug It Off because we don't have Barricade up. I could have kept that in my hand, made sure I didn't take as much damage this turn, but he's not actually attacking, so we're good. We're good. We're good. Don't worry about it. Let's go for a strike here. Berserk because he's not attacking. Unfortunately, it's not an upgraded one. Because he is going to be attacking the next turn. He is constricting us this turn, which is a problem because every turn that we don't kill him, he basically gets extra 10 damage on us. So that is a big issue. That's a big issue. I'm just deciding, like, is it better for me to go for, like, Seeing Red into double tap into Whirlwind? Or is it better for me to go for, like, double tap strike here? I don't think it's worth it for us to use the Seeing Red just yet, because we actually might need a better use out of it. To deal extra damage there is not worth it unless it's lethal damage. So we're taking 19, which will be actually 29, because we have Constrict on us now, which is the last thing there, Constricted. So we would like to get some block up. Yep. We did draw Barricade. Is it worth going for the Barricade here? We don't have any more ways to... Let's Seeing Red. We have, what? 8 cards in our hand. This will actually put us up to 10 cards. Let's go for that. We drew Armaments. Okay. Armaments is actually helpful because it does make, like, Body Slam cheaper for us, too, for one. Unfortunately, we didn't get any more, like, defensive cards there, but we can technically go for a Barricade here. But the problem is we're not going to carry anything over from our Barricade. So I'm not sure that's actually the play. I believe that just setting up a Bash this turn, and we could either go for, like, Combust. We're waiting for, like, a double tap, I feel like. This is a really good, like, Body Slam turn, though, for us, so we should probably just go for that. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. Like, we don't really lose anything from going for the Barricade here. We just don't deal any extra damage. Yeah, that's reason enough for me. Let's just deal him the extra damage. We're trying to get him killed as quickly as possible, because otherwise this Constrict is going to be constricting, obviously. Obviously. Let's see, where do we start? Let's start with a Shrug It Off. Drew into a Pommel. So we do need to put up some more block this turn, unless we can kill him. And right now, Whirlwind deals 12. 12 times 3 is not going to be enough. We could go for the Bloodletting plus Whirlwind, which then that would be enough. Do we just have, like, lethal from any of the other cards here? It's potential. No, we don't, because we actually still have to use the Bloodletting regardless. So yeah, let's just finish this combat. Get him the fluff out of here. Headbutt is actually a decent card to pick up. Being able to repeat you know, putting up like armaments on top of our deck or shrug it off on top of our deck, or being able to put like double tap, or be able to put like body slams, or if we inevitably, hopefully get entrench, being able to put entrench on top of our deck is reasonable enough for to take a headbutt. I do think we're going to be smithing because we're not going to be fighting any elites. So do we go for the Berserk here or the double tap? Well, we can wait on the Berserk. I feel like double tap. What is more beneficial to us? To be fair, just about all of these cards that you see here are actually really good upgraded. So, but it's just a matter of like which one is better for us than the rest. And I do think it comes down to double tap and Berserk because those are the best cards. Double tap to what? Do we need to do the double the two next two attacks doubled, or do we rather just make it so that way we can set up a turn where we're not vulnerable? I think actually going for the Berserk is better for us because having the extra mana means that the double tap will actually be more useful in the long run because we actually need that extra mana. So I don't know, maybe it could go either way. It's just justifications, I guess. And entrench, please, buddy. Oh, you didn't hook us up. Oh my god. Oh no. No, we didn't get the entrench. That is incredibly rude. That is incredibly rude. I do really like bronze scales. And honestly, we don't really need to remove any cards from our deck at this moment. The only issue is we're not going to have any money once we actually get to the heart. And that is our biggest concern. Because if I take the bronze scales, that is, because then if we actually do find an entrench there, then I'll be very mad at myself. Bronze scales though is really good though against the heart. Man, this is like it's easy. It's you can fall into the trap of thinking that like playing a barricade deck is really easy, but making the choices to be able to build around it, I feel like are a little bit more difficult because you're taking a little bit more gambles here and there. Whereas like with a straight up like aggressive strategy, you're just taking aggressive cards and just upgrading whenever you are above 50% HP typically. I feel like a defensive strategy is a little more tricky to play, but once you get all the combo pieces working, it becomes a little easier. Because once you set up the combo, that's basically when it's GG's. Removing a card doesn't matter, so do we take the bronze scales? That is the ultimate choice here. Let's see. I'm gonna kick myself if there's an entrench, so I'm gonna pass. We will go to the question marks. Unfortunately, we get combat. That's unfortunate there. We do get a turn, though, to be able to set up our barricade and our combust. I love how we drew, like, nothing else. We drew all the cards that basically just, like, do nothing. That's just crazy. We will start with Shrug It Off. Make sure we hit the right one. Yeah, that would be helpful. So this is just going to die probably from the combust here, so let's just try to get as much block as possible, and we can potentially take this guy out if we need to here. Do we need to? Yeah, sure, why not? He's going to put more curses and stuff into our deck. And we can afford to take the hits from this guy, so I'm not super duper worried about that. And then we'll start focusing on the big guy in the back. He did make us frail, though, so, you know, that is, not fun to deal with. I'm never going to cast Whirlwind, I can tell you that much. Yeah, unfortunately, I wish I cast the Seeing Red so that we could actually go for the headbutt and put like a Shrug It Off on top of our deck. That's okay. Not the end of the world. Maybe I should have actually cast the Whirlwind there because we're never going to cast Whirlwinds, and I'd rather just have a different card in our hand. That probably would have been better. I do get armaments here, so we will go for that. Yes, sir. How you doing? Muta has come to join in. I think we're going to be going for probably a headbutt to be able to set up for the next turn to just go for like a shrug it off here. What else are we going to do here? Disarming really doesn't do anything for us. So, like, I guess if we're going to disarm anybody, it's probably going to be you because we're never getting rid of those three debuffs on you. And this is probably the best way to do it. We're going to take no damage again, thankfully. We would like to go for a shrug it off. We would like to go for another shrug it off. We would like to go for probably a headbutt to put another shrug it off on top of our deck. Let's go for the Seeing Red though, since we can actually set up to like get some attacks in at the very least. Obviously, it didn't really do anything. It just gets cards out of our hand, really. Oh, you're right. We drew the shrug it off. Let's go. We're not taking any damage again this turn. Where'd you go? Disappeared on me. So, like, we're just playing the slow game. I know this is kind of boring. But now we basically just have to chill and wait for this guy to die to combust. Or we can actually just kill him because we have 30... Yeah. And we can afford to take one more hit, so... Okay, there we go. We quickened it up a little bit there. You know, artifact is not really worthwhile to me here. None of these are really things I'm looking for right now. Since we're about to fight bosses too, like, Immolate does, like, nothing, I feel like, against the bosses. This would have been a great card to pick up early on, and neither of these really help us out too much because we don't really have too many stasis and curses in our decks. So, problem is like, this actually turns into a good card against the heart. And we do have one curse in our deck. So, basically we have to fight with this semi-dead card for one game. Yeah, I think it's worthwhile. We get another shop. We get a True Grit. Okay. Oh boy, thank you, because we actually need something like that. This is probably going to be one of our first upgrades, though. When we get to the heart. None of these are really super duper helpful for us. Like, this is fine. This is fine. Like, I just want to save money for Entrench. And just give me the money for my Entrenches, please. I just really want my Entrench money, please. Do we get money for fighting this boss? I think we do, actually. So we actually might have enough money to be able to buy an Entrench if I buy something here. Like, if I get rid of a card, that is. And get rid of the Parasite. But the Parasite also does enable our new card that we just picked up for our deck, which I'm not sure was the correct choice or not, but... And we also have the True Grit to potentially be able to get rid of that, but we need to be able to upgrade the True Grit in order to take full advantage of it, so... Which we are not there yet, so... Let us upgrade. We are going to be fighting... Man, he's a brick house, that's for sure. I'm almost tempted to just go for the heal, but, like, True Grit being upgraded here is very important. This is not one of those bosses you want to be taking these gambles on, but we're here. We are here. Okay. Do we want to upgrade any of these? None of these really matter for us the first turn. Ooh, actually, no, we should have, because we still can. Next two, which means that we can go for a double whirlwind here and be able to get a double body slam. Okay, so we got some damage in on him on turn one. Okay. I should have also vulnerable. Oh my god, I'm missing out. Okay, we are being really silly right now. We're being really silly. We need to, like, tighten up. We can disarm him next turn. We can only cast 2 cards, though, next turn, so that is the biggest downside of not really having much to do here. So, let's disarm him and shrug it off. The best thing we could do there and try to prevent as much damage as possible. He's not attacking this turn, which means we do get to start applying pressure. So let's actually do that. Let's go for the bash. Let's go for seeing red so we can get some more mana to be able to cast more attacks. I would like to be able to put a... We're not really keeping any of these cards, so I think Shrug It Off is probably just the best option for us here. Double Tap is actually like a reasonable card to be able to go for too, but we do want to metallicize. And we do want to strike. Do we want pommel? Do we want a regular strike? Regular strike sounds fine right now. It didn't really matter which one. Obviously, like going for like combust obviously would be beneficial too, but we're at a pretty low life total, so I'm almost considering that that's probably a bad choice at this moment. Let's start with a Shrug It Off. Let's go for a True Grit, and we will get rid of... we'll get rid of the Parasite. That's the first thing to go. We're playing a little poorly this game, which is not the time to be playing poorly when we had only 40-ish health to work with in the beginning. So I'm a little disappointed right now. If I pass here, we'll have 4 cards to be able to play next turn, which I think is worthwhile. We're going to be taking no damage. Okay. But if I definitely if I go for the Berserk here, he will kill me. Or he won't kill me, but he will come really, really close. Can we potentially cast 4 cards this turn, though? If I go for the Bloodletting, that will let us have 3 mana. We could go for a Pommel Strike. I guess we go for the Pommel Strike before I make that decision. I think this is worthwhile. And we're probably never casting Fire Breathing at this point. We did draw a double tap. Unfortunately, though, it doesn't actually do anything for us here. So we'll just deal him some extra damage. Pass the turn. If we had 2, I would definitely go for the double. If we had 2 ticks left on the clock, the time warp clock, then I definitely would have gone for the double tap. But since we didn't, this was probably the best choice. So we can apply more vulnerable to him. That's not a terrible choice. I wish we had more defense right now, but he's dealing 24. We have, what, 6, which would be 15. 15, which would be 23, so he's going to deal us 1 damage if we go for that. Yeah, let's apply a bunch of vulnerability to you. Let's go for the defend, and then go for the double body slam. All set. I could go for the offering, but honestly, I'm a little afraid that we actually value our HP a little bit more at this current time and place. We do get a turn to finally go for this Berserk. Is that worthwhile? He's going to come out with a massive attack. We did get the headbutt, which means I could go for a double tap here. I'm thinking that that might actually be the correct option. And then we can go for, like, Shrug It Off. Go for the double tap. Unfortunately, though, we don't have enough mana to be able to go for any, like, major hits here. What do we have in our deck right now? Armaments and Whirlwind. Whirlwind is not going to do it for us if we go for, like, an offering. Sure. How do we do this? Well, he's not attacking next turn, so I should take advantage of that. We did get an Armaments, so let's Armaments here. Need to cast 2 cards. Risky. Do I go for the offering, and that guarantees us to draw, like, the Whirlwind to be able to go for? And that way we can take full advantage of actually having all of that mana? Or do I go for the Shrug It Off and hope that we draw the Whirlwind? It's a 50-50 here to draw the Whirlwind, and that way we can actually set it up. Otherwise, I will have to cast the offering, and that'll be a dead card for us, so... I think if that's the case, then I have to go for the offering here. And unfortunately, we, like, just have to go for this Whirlwind to take full advantage of all of our mana. So he's attacking for 30. We can actually block that. He did just heal up, by the way. I did notice that. Let's go for the True Grit. Should we go for the Pommel Strike, actually, first? Let's go for a Shrug It Off. Because, like, having extra defense is never going to be a bad thing, I feel like. And we also just want more options. We already have enough to be able to block this. So let's not get too down the dumps. I do want to get rid of this Combust because we're never casting that because I never want to be able to lose HP again. From there, though, we have choices. We can go for like double tap into Body Slam, which will deal quite a bit of damage, which means we can also go for like a Shrug It Off again this turn. I kind of like that. Let's see what the Shrug It Off gives us. I was hoping it was going to give us the other Body Slam, because then we could actually go for double tap, double Body Slam, which would be quad Body Slams. But this is perfectly fine. I'm A-okay with all of this. It's quite a bit of damage. I went for the Strike over the Pommel because we have the option to be able to upgrade the Pommel Strike with the armaments next turn. We did draw the Body Slam. He's almost dead. GG's Time Eater. See what you're doing here. You're not putting up the blocks, buddy. That's not going to do it for you. I'm so sorry, but we got the Time Eater. With a couple of like handy misplays, I feel like early on, it did get us a little closer to death, which is why I was trying to, you know, go for more defense than anything early on, because I was just concerned that we were going to die because I made those silly little misplays that could have cost us. To thump, to thump, to thump. A deep pulsing dread can be felt throughout the room. This is the heart of the spire, the source of this evil. You ready your blade? You deal 777 damage. That's pretty lucky. The heart squirms and bleeds, but is ultimately still pounding. Are your mightiest attacks not enough? You ask yourself, have I been here before? The heart pulses louder and louder as your consciousness begins to fade. A sudden burst of energy emits from inside you, jolting you awake. The heart retreats upwards. A large door is revealed in its place. I don't know why I keep reading these. I think I just have too much fun reading them. This is a longer episode, but man, there was a lot of like key decisions and key misplays too. Hopefully you enjoyed it though. I might speed up a couple of them. I'm not really sure yet. Editing takes time, and I don't really have the time to really edit, so that's part of the issue. I'll see what I can do though. Yeah, that's it for this episode though. Hopefully we get to actually defeat the heart next time, and maybe this shop might actually help us out, you know, help a buddy out here. Give me a nice little barricade. That would be fantastic, so that we can actually have a legitimate strategy that feels like we could win, because right now it's very tight without a barricade. It's manageable, but it is tight. It is very, very tight. So without further ado, though, hopefully you enjoyed. Be sure to like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell if you want to get notified for when future episodes come out. I'm trying to get into a habit of recording Monday through Friday, but some days it doesn't work out. Today I'm actually recording 2 episodes because I know that tomorrow I won't be able to record because I have to go out shopping, so that way I can refill my inventory here. So anyways, that's for my businesses, in case anybody wasn't aware. But thank you so much for watching. Do something positive today. Do something that makes you feel good. Make sure to fill your life with just happy things whenever you can, so that way it'll help you out of dark places. Playing games and watching videos are all good, but do something to help yourself move forward today. With that being said, though, good luck and grind on, everyone.